So I found out what they don't want you to know about the upcoming TikTok ban. So we all know that the TikTok ban is baseless because every other social media company is doing everything that TikTok's doing, if not worse. But the real thing that they're trying to do is they're trying to censor Americans. We all know that Meta's behind this big smear campaign to pay off the politicians to get them to ban TikTok, who is obviously going to win this social media war. But if you take a look at the Instagram monetization policy, you start to see why this is all happening. So right here is the Instagram monetization policy, and if you scroll down, it tells you all the prohibited behaviors and things you can't post on Instagram if you want to make money. And there's a few things on there that honestly are a little questionable. It starts for me in this restricted categories section, where if you go down to see what you can't talk about, the main thing is debated social issues. I want to start off by saying TikTok has always been the platform for people to go spread the truth, spread information, and to communicate with each other across the board without anybody coming in and curating or suppressing that. So let's talk about a few of the things that Instagram won't let you talk about. Race, gender, national origin, age, political affiliation, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientations, socioeconomic class, religion, and immigration. I'm gonna get demonetized for this video. And straight up, I will say one thing about TikTok. The most information that I have learned on any platform about how these things are actually panning out in the real world all come from TikTok. Everything. Why? Because TikTok cares about our freedom of speech and our ability to communicate with each other without somebody curating it, without the government stepping in and say, wait, you can't talk about that here because we're not going to allow you to. People can't talk about anything polarizing. Like, I can't talk about age and how the fact that everybody in that congressional hearing was at least 65 and they need to get some people who actually understand the internet in there. Almost all of these debated social issues are things that I've heard people oppressively post about on Instagram, but the second you try to defend it, the second you try to stand up for your communities, they will demonetize and punish you. I have personally been demonetized on Instagram for calling out transphobic things that they do on the platform. The next day, I was completely removed from monetization for over 24 hours. But there's one here that honestly just made me laugh because I feel like it wasn't there the last time I read this. It's in a section called Objectionable Activity. Depiction or discussions of these subjects, either real or fictional, may affect your monetization of your content. So if you scroll all the way down, a lot of these I agree with. I agree with almost all of them, right? Except for this last one. Judicial proceedings. They will demonetize you if you talk about judicial proceedings. You see what I'm saying here? So basically, you can't go talk about what happened, TikTok versus the Congress, on Instagram, or else you're risking demonetization. They fully don't want you to be able to discuss anything that they have gone through in the past, like when Mark Zuckerberg stood against Congress. So if you don't have an issue with this, then you don't realize that the government is using this as a scapegoat to push an agenda to censor Americans across the internet and stop them from combining, stop them from lobbying together, and stop them from understanding and seeing the truth of what's really going on. Also, I can't use strong language. Shit. And this doesn't really fit. I just thought it was a weird thing for them to have an issue with. They don't let you do loops on Instagram or else you'll be demonetized. Seems kind of a weird hill to die on for me, but like, you know what? Do you? To be honest, I think there's only one or two ways this could go. If TikTok gets banned, none of us are actually going to go to Facebook or Instagram. We're all going to YouTube anyway. So they're shooting themselves in the foot completely by doing this whole thing. And two, if TikTok actually survives this, then literally Meta's done. It's going to solidify TikTok as the champion in this space for the foreseeable future. And then that'll just be the end of Facebook and Instagram. And honestly, I hope that happens. So now that we're seeing this, what should we actually do about it? I got a couple suggestions. One, delete your Facebook. No one uses that. Literally no one uses that stuff, so who cares anymore? And the fact is, they're taking away monetization on both the platforms anyway, because they're so sure there's going to be no more TikTok soon that we might as well just prematurely leave and then make them freak out. And then also, send an email to your senators. Speak out. Stand up for your rights and don't let the government oppress you, because this is exactly what's going to happen. This is the first step of a snowballing effect They will just limit our ability to communicate the truth to each other, and sometimes the truth to them is damaging. So they're afraid. They're afraid of us uniting to a cause that is against their own wishes, against their goals. And that is exactly what we need to do. That is exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to advocate for everyone else to do the same thing. Speak up, speak out. Do not be afraid of these companies because they are afraid of us.